Hi guys, I'm streaming just a little bit right now. I'm just making myself pizza dough, or no dough. I don't know. What should I be making? I think I might be making my barbecue style food for later. Let's make a melon salad. I love my melon feta mint salad. That's what I'm just quickly making with you guys. I'm very inwards currently because last year was very external, like lots about vacation mode and lots about distraction. And this year I'm listening deeper again with my own practice, you know. I'm just going deeper with the meditation music, with my crystal bows, deepening the Reiki practice. So just a little more home for me, a little more easy flowing home, my own little practice, just no course, nothing special. I did already book a course on demand because I could not stop my excitement. But I'm purposefully not doing a big course. Like I did one, but it was not great. So I'm trying not to do the external. I'm being more internal. And this weekend, kind of good. I have an app for coaching. And then yesterday it told me, just if you want, just make a day without a plan, no special intention, just rest. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm just on here quickly recording this tiny little salad, and me quickly a little bit sharing where I'm at on my journey, because that's what this is about. A little bit recording my own evolution with these plants, with the space, with the meditation, with the practice, and also interacting in everyday life, like very groundedness practice, and also sharing my favorite recipes a little bit, but not in a proper cooking way because I have no motivation, guys. I have no motivation. I'm not a videographer person. It's not my favorite thing. Like, I love watching great videos, but I'm not like this. Like, I love if the AI makes me something, I'm happy, but I'm also not somebody who wants to draw for hours for a little beautiful picture on Instagram. Even though I love watercolors, but it's never really making me happy sitting that long on a picture. So it's the same with a video. Like, if it's one take and I can be chatty and I just put on a filter and it's good, I'm gonna do it. If it's not gonna look proper and professional and neat, I will never. Like, I will probably record it, but I will probably not online post it and just, cut it and all. And that's not what I'm about. I hate that YouTube is not uploading my videos if I have background music, but I just found today really good music, guys, from, what's her name again? Like, she has a very rare name. Now I don't remember her. I might put that in the link below. Like, Aurelia, like, she's a British singer, like, I think she's over 40 now, and So just quickly cutting up my little melon. Takes no time, and I always use it fresh out of the refrigerator. That's cooling. We already have heat wave again, and that is very lovely, nice afternoon salad. And this is a very nice melon, very sweet. I'm making a melon salad, melon feta mint salad, but also always do a little balsamic vinegar, just a little bit, because that's just nice flavorful. It's not too sour. It's not too sour, in my opinion. And that's my favorite food in summer, this summer. Also, I'm eating quite a lot of cucumber, crema potato salad, and chicken. But today I'm gonna be roasting my veggies in the oven, barbecue style, and also a good sausage. That's barbecue for me. Good sausage is barbecue. Froze my last sausage. I always do a whole feta cheese, because otherwise I'll be hungry and I will be needing to cook. And I love not cooking and just making salads or bowls or sandwiches in summer. That's just what I like. Just cutting on a little feta cheese. Like I never do small pieces. If you want it, it's just normal. And a little bit more thin feta pieces, just also not tiny, just thin. just a little bit of my fresh mint plant leaf. And then I love just using my scissors quickly. They are my kitchen scissors, so I mostly use them for just the herbs. Just a little bit of salt, just for the flavor. And then you can do balsamic vinegar, like normal, or the thicker one, the balsam one. That's what I love more because it's sweeter, but I have none in my house at the moment. Just a little drizzle, like I don't need more because the melon is so fresh and juicy, and the mint really makes it taste so fresh and nice too. And with the salad, the belly is full, and I'll be waiting until it's a little cooler to be cooking. So that's why it's my new favorite treat in the summer. And it looks nice, you know. It's actually sweet, so it is a little treat as well as it is super healthy. Yesterday I made half a melon fresh smoothie juice, just watermelon, because I got a big one and it did not fit in my fridge. So did not fit in my fridge. And yeah, that's it. I'm a person who loves making my own food, but I'm also a person who doesn't love to be sweaty in the summer. So I'm be making all of the good salads and all. And I currently am reading new books. I have new Audible books. I did find so many good books on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm in my introvert haven currently right now, just reading and learning more about wellness and well-being practices. That also include lots of sports knowledge, you know, actually, because the sporty people, they also benefit from rejuvenation, because the body, for like a very sports, like a professional sports person, it's actually very important knowledge, as well as for other people who do sports in a big way, which is not just for a little bit of fitness, but for proper, like Ironman people or like athletic people, some bikers that really go long routes. So they all also know about body care and self-care. And that's the book that I will be reading probably later a little bit. And it's just very nice outside, isn't it? But it's super hot. It's super hot. So I'll be really enjoying my little cold salad And then I'm probably gonna take my book and hop into the bathtub and just be happy that my body is more well again. And yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan. If you want, we can be drawing an oracle card, and then I will be hopping off again, because I don't always need to be online for an hour. I can just sometimes hop on 15 minutes, and that's good. We already did 15 minutes, so this is the Rose Oracle deck from Rebecca Campbell. I really love it. It's my personal favorite Oracle deck author, because she has really deep messages in a every day. This is my person today. So this is Sub Rosa, Hidden in Plain Sight, Mysteries, Learning and Teaching. Yeah, I think they also want me to read my books. That's what I'm here. But I want to read the book because I've never had that card before. I love with her art how beautiful they wear the scarf over the head, because the Kundalini Yoga teaches you to also support your crown with the turban, as well as just also the scarf, and just a little protectedness in prayer, in meditation, in relaxation, in devotional ceremonial space is so good. And this is just what those cards journey with me on those deep journeys. Definitely I have other ones, they speak to me with other topics, but these are for the deep practice days. And I'm gonna read out what this is about. It even has a little blessing card. If you get the deck, you can set a prayer for the deck before you start it with intentional using it, so it may guide you on the highest path for all beings. Sub Rosa, Hidden in Plain Sight, Mysteries, Learning and Teaching. The rose has been a symbol of secrecy for millennia. The ancient Romans wore rose garlands on special occasions, and when these were hung above important meeting places, the conversations that took place beneath were considered sub rosa, or under the rose. It was understood that things said under the rose would be kept secret and not repeated. There's also an image of the ancient Egyptian god Horus sitting with a rose and holding his fingers to his lips, symbolizing silence about the deep mysteries. The phrase sub rosa may have its origins in ancient Greece, where in 477 before Christ a secret negotiation took place in a building attached to the temple of Minerva, seen on this card. On the building's roof was a rose garden, hence sub rosa. Another otherworldly theory of the phrase origin is linked to Eros, who is said to have bribed Harpocrates, the Greek god of silence and secrecy, with a rose to persuade him to remain silent on the affairs of the gods. This card represents the great mysteries that are available for us to uncover and remember, secrets that are waiting to be found, teachings that your soul might be ready to learn. Look beyond what your eyes can see and dig a little deeper. You're here to uncover lost wisdom, ancient secrets, and deep mysteries. Are you being called to study the great mysteries, to lift the great questions, and step into your role as a teacher, guide, or mystic? Are you being called to question things and unearth the truth unknown? And the inquiry question is, what are you being called to study, learn more about, or unearth? Lovely. I've not had this card before. I kind of don't like it because then I think I'm a secret society under the rose. But it's actually cute. I think it's mean that they use the rose symbol because it actually stands for deep feminine healing. Since thousands of years, this is used because the smell is divine. but I just see them a little bit drunk under the rose, hoping nobody will like spoil the secrets, and bet nobody did that ever. Like if you ever got into Roman mysteries and old legends, they always fail big ways. Also Greek, like they are drunk a lot and they always spoil the tea, and it does not end well for them. So, but it's interesting. It's interesting that they made the rose a little symbol of secrecy. So hopefully, hoping the divine and the female that listens will not spoil the tea as well. I hope they had good luck, but I don't think so. But the card is great for me today. The card is great for me because it asks me what do I want to study and learn more about. And as I said, I'm going to read a book about wellness practices, also from a sports perspective, just a little bit. And, you know, all those things about the ancient mysteries, you know, is meditation is has mystery. If you follow a spiritual path, you will understand mystery does not mean unsolved or not understandable, but it is more a practice of understanding that this is not necessarily to be understood, just to be felt. That's what I feel. For example, birth is kind of a mystery. How the baby is created in the womb, like we know the cells are forming and all, and the baby is in the womb, and we know how typically, but it is just this life force that is the creator of all life. That is a mystery. Like is that is what is not understood, and like you understand that medication is helping. But if you have a little gratitude in your heart, can you feel that this is mysteriously a real blessing? And like just not thinking that the searching after old mysteries or spiritual mysteries or like old legends, like people still look out for I don't know, Arthurian legends. They want to see if this was true because something in them resonates with that story. And I would say on my path, like the yogi in me would say, yeah, you might hear the Arthurian legend of his own hero's journey and how he has risen. And even though he is described as somebody who kind of fell into place and did not want this king role and kind of preferred to just be human, that's what calls to people, I think. And then they come as tourists, they go to the old sites, they go to Glastonbury to seek out, you know, everything about Grail and the old stories and lores and all. And that is the mystery that they are seeking, is maybe their true potential that they are feeling. So I think this is necessary to be grounded if you are not very much on the path and you are not a seeker. As somebody who is spiritually seeking, it makes absolute sense that you dive into the mysteries. Because I'm somebody who feels connection to my ancestors. I feel their guidance and their love, and I have meditations for that I listen to, and I strengthen the grounding to the earth where I want to feel rooted. And that would probably be weird for somebody who has no spiritual practice, but for me that is just my normal training, and is the root of my energy work. it grounds the Reiki. And now, just for me, it is absolutely mysteriously beautiful and a blessing how deep the infrared light lamp, for example, helps me heal from surgery and all, and cold and fever. And I want to understand more. So in the moment that I study the mystery, it does get understandable, and it becomes an understandable story. And a little lesson sometimes too for myself or for somebody else, or for your job. If you're a sports teacher, you can teach the kids or whatever you want to do. Or if you're a coach, you can teach that. And like just answering the quest in your heart for more knowledge is also following the mysteries. But obviously it is a little bit of a spiritual path, I guess. It is a little bit your soul seeking resonance on this earth and in this kind of very egoistic, economy focused world is not for everybody. Like, it's not naturally what humans are about. It is more about what is best for the big corporations, and not so much a soul's path on earth. So people are seeking, and you do pilgrimages if you're seeking answers. That is part of a mystery. Like, it is even ancient tradition to go on those sacred routes. For example, Jakobsweg in Europe, that actually goes through all of Europe, but there are especially popular ones. And you go on this way to discover your own journey, as well as find similar tribe. Some people find answers, some don't, and some they really find satisfaction just having answered this call and listen to their soul, or to their heart, or to their faith, or just to their inner child. It can move mountains. You can mindfully walk over a mountain, and you see that you will be shifting. I moved when I had my worst depression phase. I moved over so many mountains, so as many as I could, to overcome this feeling of burden from being overwhelmed with the mental crisis in my life. And it did shift for me. It did shift as the emotion shifts, and that is a bit of a mystery, because it is old, like it's old knowledge. The practice helps you shift, and not so much the mind. Sometimes the practice and the emotional shift is the biggest shift you can make. That is also a little bit of a mystery. Like, it's not fully the same for everybody. I heard about, like, for example, cancer treatments. They are very individualistic, and people have very different outcomes. It's not the same for everybody, and there's no study who really understands, for example. Like, that is the mystery in the unknown, and then there is a mystery in the not understood, and then there's a mystery, just devotion to faith and the universe and my guides and my ancestors and my team, my spiritual team that I am surrounded with, also with practice based. Maybe if you're not faithful, that seems weird. You don't need to do that, but that is the mysteries that I give into intuitive spiritual guidance that I want to get into my journaling, into positive creative outcome. And the biggest shift, if you ever want to work around spiritual intuition, is it sparking love or is it sparking fear? And if it is sparking love, you follow on that path. You also will fail, but you tried and you learn better. And also with journaling, in the beginning, you're going to see, even if it's from a spiritual oracle card that's very positive and nice, you might see lots of garbage on the pages. But just, if you want to, and if you forgot, just tear it apart, throw it into a little fire, let it go, and then start writing again. If you think it's very negative, I had that in the beginning of my little bit more trained journaling phase. I felt like lots of baggage coming out, lots of suppressed opinions, lots of suppressed frustration, anger, hurt, That's all legit. Let it out, but just don't make it part of your journal or your book. It's not what it's about with spiritual journaling. Let the trash out, basically. Trash not in a way that is not necessary information, or it's not there to also support you on your path. I can understand that the anger supports you too in a way, but it's not what you seek and not what you want to make more. So you let it go, and then you rewrite the same question, maybe an hour or a day or 2 days or a week later, and then you will find an answer that is reaching a little bit more higher, a little bit more into love and understanding and alignment. And every day, it is your mindset that is shifting. But like, I'm always about grounded practice, because you can get lost with spiritual routine only. So I always do, like, I love yoga because it is a spiritual path that is very embodied and body focused. I love embodiment because it's so body focused. I love mindfulness because it's not creating lots of pictures, spiritual pictures. It's just making you be more in the now. I love Eckhart Tolle for the power of now, and it's just appreciating so much what you are currently living. And I had a grandpa who lived that intuitively. He had a broken heart from the war, and he lived very much close to the here and now. He wasn't much about tomorrow or yesterday. He was mostly about the moment. He saw the individual. He enjoyed his walk. He loved his food. He also had his conflicts, but he was never really making a big story out of things. So that's what is also inspiring me. And like really, that's why I think grounding is the most important thing. So I love, if I read spiritual content and I find interesting basics, I do look back into science, into history books. Like I double check, I prove points. Like people did held my first Lemurian meditation space, and I joined, and it was interesting but a little bit weird because I did not know what they're talking about. And then I googled the idea, esoteric, probably 100 years old, the story of lost land sunk in the ocean. A little bit like Atlantis, but a little bit less tragic what I'm feeling, and more about ascension. And Atlantis more about this perfect little world that was lost once. And like people try to believe in that, and that's not what I want, but I love the idea of just Lemuria as a little bit of a more wholesome earth where people work together and work with high intentions, and that's what I think is cute. But I'm not indulging in that. Like I'm not gonna sit there and I personally love more meditation music that inspires me, that nourishes my soul. I actually love while I'm meditating with like high vibe things. I love the groundedness of Pinterest, at the same time, body connection as well as the relaxation, and then a little bit of the inspiration coming in, a little bit of future planning, manifestation time. I love to make the practice my own, and that is what I'm all about, just helping you on your path, giving you the tools so you do what you do best. It's like being your own guide. Being your own guide. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking about mysteries. Like there are many different forms to understand the word, and this card definitely calls me a little bit deeper into understanding the studies, the spiritual studies that I'm about to be doing. And they even talk about how some part of it can be secretive. Like I don't need to be sharing with my meditation teacher, with another group, or with my husband or my family or my kid or even my cat. People talk to cats. They do that. That's okay. And I can just listen to the secrets in me. What are my secrets actually? I have no idea. I never asked myself that question, but that's what the card made me think about today. So it's very beautiful. I feel like drawing one more card, and then I will be out of here and eating my watermelon salad. Hopefully it's still cold because I'm sweating, guys. Boy, it's so warm. I'm inside, and it's not I'm not getting lots of sun in there, but it is the most sunny room, so I feel like it has at least 5 degrees more, but that's probably not true, but anyhow. I love coffee. I might fix my coffee machine. It's not brewing my coffee as it used to. It's always spilling a little bit water out while I'm just waiting for the coffee to be in the mug. Probably need to open that and look at it. And I might do that right now because then I get better coffee a little later. Because I love this crema. I live close to Italy, like in the south of Austria. So we get lots of good Italian coffee over here too, obviously. The anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts. I love your art so much. Anointment is just a form of spiritual blessing. You can anoint with oil or with water. You can do it for yourself with spiritual intention, and then it's anointed. And then answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts means like step into your spiritual responsibility. If you feel on your soul path, there is something that is yours to do for the highest and best for all beings on the planet. Go into leadership position, seek empowerment, and find your true soul gifts, and that will guide you on your path. And that is like actually what I've been doing the last 4 years. For me, it's a very calm, soft, and slow process. Like I'm not rushing. I feel like my soul wants to be held and wants to be grounded and wants to express in art mostly. And I'm a little bit trying to step up more into empowered space because I probably was very secretive with my spiritual routine when I was younger. I did not even share my yoga practice with people. I kind of felt there's lots of stigma around it. But now I'm 37 and I feel like, well, it's my life. Like if they don't like it, it's their choice. But I'm more and more committing to the spiritual practice as part of my everyday. Like sometimes I just rarely did yoga, for example. Some years, other years I did repeatedly also meditate. So there is a little up and down on this practice journey. But it's more and more important on my path because what helped me through most of my adult years was not old friends, you know, that will forever help you and be on your path, or like any adult. It was mostly my own heart and my practice that held me together, even in grief and illness and heartbreak. So I feel like I'm the most loyal to spiritual routine, and I'm all about grounded, reflected practice and also understanding, because that's what a yogi does. Yogi does not follow any spiritual guidance without questioning, and it listens to the ego to understand what is the resonance and understand how it does not always trick the mind. You know, the ego can be getting you. Like if I hear about empowerment and the anointed, I might think, wow, that's about special people. But actually, the actual practice that you will find in courses, in books, and on the internet is just, for example, make your own rose water intentionally, bless that with Reiki, or your own prayer that you write down for whatever you pray for. And then that is already water for a blessing. And then you just put it on your third eye, on your throat, like on your chakras if you want to, on your arms, on your feet. There are even books about how to anoint points on the body. If you want to be that specific, you can. But I always go intuitively. I'm most into third eye because that's where I'm meditating about, like intuition and guidance, spiritual guidance, you know. And then heart, obviously, and always womb, because that's the power center for women. There are lots of things that I also will be reading about the power of the womb again, because I think I also need to hear that more. Like I understand the message. I am strong as a woman. I have my own authority and all. I'm the ruler of my life. But at the same time, I feel like stigmatized still. And like I'm 37, I'm still hearing that I'm just a little girl and that I'm annoying for being female. So there is this stigma that doesn't get to your brain, but like part of you really wants to hear more about empowered womanhood in a grounded spiritual way, because um, that's a deep quest. And like I've been on other journeys. I've tried to be a businesswoman. I've tried to be a good yogi, and and kind of nothing really ever felt most like me. And I feel most like me while I'm journaling out what is my path and my guidance. I feel most like me after a long walk in the forest. I feel most like me in the arm of a loved one. And I feel most like me when I'm creatively creating oil plants or baking or Little clay is what I'm doing recently, like while I am just giving in to the creative part of being alive, and that's also what the womb is lots about. Also, the sacral chakra is the womb. They have their is a connected topic, and it's not all about sexuality with the womb. It is mostly about how the power of a woman really is connected to her ability to birth, and how you can use those cycles, the womb cycles, to use more of your core strength and empowerment, find empowerment, and not always think you're weak because your body is bleeding, or like you have more emotion because your hormones have to switch because that's the cycle, and you can use that. And I want to read more about it. I love reading that. I like the people who write that, like they are very inspirational. I also love their music because there's very not too polished from the music industry. It's just very fresh music, and that's good for my heart. I just love artful people with a good mindset and with ethics, and that's what I can find in those tribes, but not all of them. Like, you need to be also critical and check in with the ego. What is the story you're making up? And yeah, does it feel aligned? Is it triggering shadow or light? So, like, spiritual kind of teachers, they have many things on their mind. Sometimes they strive for more power because they still come from religion and they seek more power. Others, they come to you to bring the practice to you as it's on their path. They just share the practice. And there are other ones who kind of also a little bit on a soul path journey, because that's a long, that call has been out for quite a while. I've always known it when I was a teenager. It has already been around with like spiritual kind of people who meditated and all. It was even cool at the time. Like write a letter to the universe and like start manifesting and things like that. Like that has always been kind of liked. And I did in the lockdowns when I was overwhelmed, I did even call the astrology hotline because I really needed somebody who tells me something about how this bullshit is gonna continue in my life, and kind of did not know because nobody knew. And then I just got very nice mindset and feedback that actually helped me. That's why I'm probably getting all these oracle decks, because they do similar things for me, and they are not $70 per 30 minutes. So that cost me 20 once, and then I always have them around. It was very nice talking to those ladies who do that still, and it is quite pricey. But that comes from my teenage years where we've been all esoterically inspired to push through our blocks, our trauma, and like also as girls we had so much stigma to overcome in the 2000s. I did get better, I think, but sometimes I feel not. So I'm not sure. But I'm used to that stigma, and I feel like men have that stigma too. Like that's why I am not about gender, and still I am about feminine healing. But it's not about identity. It is more about the woman in me has been neglected by myself, even in many ways. So I'm a little bit making up. I'm doing lots of womb work. I'm cycling informed. I am eating mindfully, like what's my body need with my cycle right now, or with my health journey overall. I am pushing myself, not anymore, which was a long journey because I was very pushy when I was younger for myself. And I am more getting into prayerfulness and trust rather than control and really needing to have a plan and have it all figured out. Like that's since the lockdown, I had to let it go. It's not part of my personality no more. You find me with a new book about spiritual studies in my infrared light lamp chair, talking on YouTube to people only about spirituality, because I could share about other things. I could I could I could do trainings, but all I want to do is like have time out and be in my meditation bubble and inspire people to do the same, because it did shift for me in huge ways. In the lockdowns, I felt a little bit unhealthy and unsupported by society, as well as my neighbors and parents and my city and my society. And I did not like politics since then. And I'm not frustrated. Like the AI constantly tells me, like, just stop. You can do fast media. Don't do media. If you're that frustrated, like, just go on your own journey in your own life. And my life is very much dedicated to the society as a non-profit manager. So I retrieve and find my own little cave with my meditation practice. And you need to be careful to not spiritual bypass your reality. Like, you don't live in the meditation bubble, but I spend lots of time in meditation space and meditation music. I do that mindfully. This is a Sunday. I'm gonna close all the external doors, so I will be focusing on my meditation, and like that's how I can like switch off my mind a little bit more and a little bit more, a little bit more. Sometimes it's not working, other times it's working great. And this is a day where I feel very zen. So I that's lovely. I would be like that. I would want to be like that more. But it's not always possible. And I accept that too. Okay, guys, I just meant to talk to you 20 minutes, but this is 50. So I will be back. Um, have a nice day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye bye.